ask, what are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want? First, what is it that you want? What does success look like for you? And then what are you willing to sacrifice to get it? That may be time, it may be money, it may be hanging out with your friends, it may be not getting to buy those red bottom shoes. What is it that you're willing to sacrifice to get what you want? And then what are you willing to do to move forward with purpose? Moving forward with purpose is my tagline, by the way. I think you can always move forward if you put your mind to it and you really want it bad enough.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Foxworth Theory. I am your host, Eugenia Foxworth. This show is about business, arts, entertainment, and fashion. And we will be speaking to people that are movers and shakers from all over the world. And we allow them to tell their stories on the Foxworth Theory. This week, our guest is author Marsha Haygood. Marsha Haygood is co-author of the bestseller, The Little Black Book of Success, Laws of Leadership for Black Women, and its companion workbook. Marsha has helped thousands of women overcome career obstacles and chart a course for success. As a former entertainment executive, Marsha founded and is president of Stepwise Associates, LLC, which offers strategic coaching, leadership training, and consulting services to individuals and groups. Marsha Haygood is the person to call when you want to rise to your highest expectation. Welcome to the show, Marsha Haygood.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to speak with you today.
Well, it is my pleasure. Now, please let me know where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Bronx, New York. I am now in Florida, but I was born and raised in the New York area.
Was life in corporate America easy for you, especially since you lived in the Bronx? Should have been a piece of cake.
Oh, really? No, corporate life, I think of life as what you make it. So was it easy? No. Was it doable? Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's good. And you're just positive all the way, which is something that I've heard about you and read some excerpts, which is phenomenal. So on that note, what advice did you give you, or did you have a mentor? Did a mentor give you advice? And as you navigated your way to the top?
Absolutely. I think my first mentor was actually my mom, who actually said, you can do anything you put your mind to. And so when you talk about seeing my positivity, that's where it came from. It came from my mom saying, try it. If you think it's the right thing to do, try it. And if it doesn't work out, don't think of it as a failure. Think of it as the first step. That was a practice. Do it again if you want. So that was a first mentor. I've had mentors throughout my career. Sometimes people who were helping me along the way from behind the scenes. They were sponsors, so to speak. And I think it really came from me always trying to be prepared, for me having a positive attitude, and for me being willing to try new things.
Mm-hmm. Now, what did you get from being in the Bronx? everyone that I have read about that has been successful, that have come out of the Bronx, have said to me, well, I was doing such and such at such and such time. And that inspired me to go on with my profession. Could you more or less tell me this as well?
I don't know if it comes from growing up in the Bronx, but I think I think I'm resilient. We all are going to hit upon hard times. We're going to come upon naysayers that I definitely had, who thought, she won't make it. Try something else. And that started even in school. But again, I go back to having my mom as the angel on my shoulder who said, don't believe them. You can do anything. And I tell you, it's the reason that I talk to women predominantly that I'm coaching. I'm an executive coach. And I try to be the angel on their shoulder that my mother was to me by saying, you can do it, but you must prepare. You must plan. You must take action. You can't do things and expect people are going to give it to you or people are going to do it for you. So, quite frankly, I ask, what are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want? First, what is it that you want? What does success look like for you? And then what are you willing to sacrifice to get it? That may be time, it may be money, it may be hanging out with your friends, it may be not getting to buy those red bottom shoes. What is it that you're willing to sacrifice to get what you want? And then what are you willing to do to move forward with purpose? Moving forward with purpose is my tagline, by the way. I think you can always move forward if you put your mind to it and you really want it bad enough.
And I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
100. And what career advice would you give our new Supreme Court Justice?
Mm.
What do you think about her history-making appointment?
So inspiring. I first go back to say most women, most Black women, have gone through some of the process that we saw her go through. Not all of us, including me probably, that could have been so calm and so controlled in going through that process. It was a difficult time. I was going from being inspired and praying for her to angry and cursing at the camera. I mean, cursing at the television. There was no way around that. However, we've done it. And what she did was inspire me on things that I've told other people, that you can't be emotional. You need to be strategic. And she did it to the max. Her background spoke for itself. So, I have a little saying that I say to people, and she played it out so well. You can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid. So when people act stupid, don't argue with them. Believe who they are and just do your thing. And don't, go high when they go low. And that's exactly what she did. So we all watched it in action, and she's going to get to the Supreme Court. That's a given. God is on her side. And so are all of us.
And I believe that because with what she went through,
yeah,
and I watched her. I mean, I was traveling, but I was watching BBC and MSNBC because I was in Europe. And I thought to myself, this is hideous.
Yeah.
Some of the questions were hideous. And that's why I am so pleased to be able to interview you at this time. I mean, it was perfect timing. I mean, it was there, it was written. That's why you're here.
Thank
So,
you.
What are Black women going through in the workplace? Now,
You know, it's not that we haven't gone through some of this before. However, I think now it's not so hidden. You know, it used to be that we have these microaggressions thrown at us on a regular basis, and people would say, "Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that was a problem. I didn't know you felt that way. I didn't know. I didn't mean it in that regard." Now, I think we need to hold people accountable, but not in an argumentative way, not in an angry way. You need to be confident enough and composed enough to stop people in their tracks and say, did you mean to say it that way? This is the way I heard it. Is this what you really meant? And if you can do that in a strategic way, it will usually back people up. It may not change their mind, but it will back them up and you'll feel better. You know, we've all gone home after something has happened and we've said, I should have said this or I should have done that. You know it's going to happen. I tell my clients to strategize because it's going to happen again. What would you do or say differently in a way that makes you feel good? Arguing doesn't make you feel better. Being mad at someone doesn't make you feel better. They go off and do their thing and you're sitting home stewing. So plan it out. Plan out what you'd like to do, how you'd like to feel, and what you need to say. And we know it. We just don't want to do it at that time. So sometimes it means give yourself some time. In the little black book of success, we say, give yourself 24 hours. Do the 24-hour rule. Go home. Think about it. Say it. Sometimes you could say, wow, right then in the moment, because you need to say something. Wow. Let me think about that a little bit. I'd like to get back to you in 24 hours. You said this. I'd like to have more conversation about that, but not right now. We control our emotions. And we need to plan out how we want to be perceived, how we want to be treated, quite frankly. And I think we can stop people in their tracks when things have gone wrong. And don't assume that everyone wants to do you wrong.
yes, what you're saying, I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I've not really worked in offices, but
Mm,
I'm out on the street and I have my own business. So I do know that because if I were to get upset with every time someone said something,
yeah.
because people are very comfortable with me, then I would have blood vessels breaking. And that's good that you're there for those who need your help or may just need a little nudge or take that break. And
Yeah.
speaking of breaks, let's take a short break. And we will be right back with our very special guest, author Marsha Haygood. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the Foxworth Theory. Be sure to tune in on Thursday at 9 p.m. on the Foxworth Theory Network.